Are we good to go? Good afternoon, everyone. Today is an important day for this campaign. We started just about a month ago, 3 weeks to be precise, and this campaign is gaining momentum. We are attracting crowds that are previously believed to be impossible. We are making inroads that are quite impressive. And it is part of that progress that has led to the reason why we are gathered today. Mr. Kitabu Fati yesterday declared his support for us, which we believe to be very impressive and very much welcome. I will let Mr. Fati come and address you, and if need be, I'll take the microphones again to say a few words. We would also be open to answer questions relating to this specific issue. I underline relating to this specific issue. So without further ado, I call on Mr. Kitabu to come forward and make his statement.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon to every Gambian in the Gambia and abroad. Like Mr. Faal rightly said, today is a great day, and today is a very, 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 very beautiful day. It's a pleasure and an honor to sit here and declare our support for Essa Faal. Gambia as a country needs a great leader. Thank you. To have that great leader, we need somebody who is selfless, who is very, very, very experienced, and who is willing to do everything for the development of this nation. So I think this is not going to be a long statement. PDP as a party, we believe and we know that the rightful person to rule this nation and to push us to the next level is Essa Faal. So, nsem fay mandin ka kan la mbe mol fendi ka jele mandra ti yadrol mbe Gambia dingol be konton na kabrin ka ton foko na mbe menu be tubabu du mbe konton na fa ke na diaspora yanolu nyin keta nye sewoti baake kasi jambi ka nyin lungo ka nyin lungo jura ka dum bimu lumbalti lungo lu kono ndolu PDP parti la munte me ya lonko wultale nga tamolu kele nga kontondirolu kele nga jefanan ko nsen da kafuno banku atudu banku do koto bari kabirin tata nga Essa Faal je na sita nga kacalo ke katun nimpati dol fane kaca kele bari kabiri nata sita alhamdulillah ya keta nye sewoti bake membento wala bateto ko mannin ko ka fo nyamen iko membe fututu lato wala be natu lato ko nyimbe laari wala nyama ngaje ko ndolla hamolu anin ngalon ko banko nyanta tala nyamen bata membe molu kan anin toro membe molu kan memba bondi lankan anin men sa jarano me ya lonko ay londo soto alama kamo timmata ndung ay banko molu kan am manke si fatam fansiti am manke ka fodron ko mbe badim fasala o mbe mbare mbe nyimpatilo to mbe wala fasala o mfa be nyimpatilo to mbe wala fasala kom ngaw mo si fala je ndung ngalon ko mo si famu isa falati mbe lor nga kom ndung comme ka fo nyaamen dron ndol dun da politiko ko no menna wala mu mallafi anendir la mallafi akajafir la mallafi kabula nyola because bi politiko nyaawo nya abitale aben totula jannen tolle mba kilim fa kilim wolti site jang gambia be mo kilim wolti ningo site jam ma fo mande ngati jan jolata jam fulati jam bi janne de comme tu wawol kam we are diverse bare ku kiline be je wolem ko na gambia di yatu nka ndolle ka be nyola ku sangoto ndolle ka nyokulli ndolle ka ko be ke nyola woto ni nyim banko batata ndolle batata ni banko tata nyato ndolle tata nyato woto bi men sa nyim banko samba nyato tolla jikoto ndungalo ko gambia non membe banta TRRC mo be ajele Essa Faal menke jang ndung o kolalu ay kol menke jam mol ya lonne bi ni futata la so kono jang hani o TRRC wato kono se mol tara jang ibe la hajul fola ndo akatata adoyata nyawonya aka katala ya buluke je bi wala moti me ya lonko se banko di no samba ay balafa moli ay ya long molu be men ndoka kugelem fo ko yimbe nga o bambande ndolo mo do ba dingol leti mello ta do bali mbelo la wole ndung be gambia dingo be danila alngalo Essa Faal ko ma ay nim ñinan December 4 men kana teng kabirin katum fo koyna mbe finti nga kafu nyoma nkana kudo jibe bi ne nyaaje men la banko murundi ko ma wala mu mbare mbe nyimpati do mbar nga taje mfa be nyimpati do mbar nga taje namuso fa be nyimpati do mbar nga taje wala na banko murundi ko ma al nga jibe men sa banko sammano ndum men sa banko sammano a felendin siri ndala jang ina Essa Faal ngata surwa kan do man ninge ko na surwa man sene wari mba folal bi do katum bi gambia la mu hani nga fula kan moy bi medo man dim fola jele dina nuyu wa gambie yeb depuis katon be koy na dina ñu yeb di len wax ne dal ne tay bes la bo xamne besi mbekté la te bes la bo xamne tam man bég na torop pour ñew tok fi waxa askan bi waxa wa rew mi yeb ñun waa PDP ñoo toog sampa nañ suñu parti boo xam ne daal duga nañ si réew mi waxtaan nañ ak nit ñi ñu gis ne mun nañoo dugal suñu loxo si politique yi Gambia te du ne comme suñ ne politique cause Gambia loolu la suñ ne xamuloo politique rek xamuloo politique yi saaga xamuloo politique yi xasaate gos ñoom loolu lañ dee nit ñi loolu lañ dee foog ne loolu mooy politique te loolu du politique moo ne nga jaay sa agenda nit ñi ñu jënda ko nga wax yoo xam ne ëllëg si biir yow doo toog nga rus so ñun toog nañ ñu waxtaan executive level ñu gis ne suñ parti bi alhamdulillah waaye mun nañoo toog ñu xoolaat ñu gis man tey am na jàng na am naa expérience waaye alhamdulillahi Essa moom a gën a jàng te moom moo ëpp expérience nin taamoo la ma duuta ñaawañaa bii ay londoo soto nuwaa taamatal so ñu taxawal ko ñun yëpp waxuma PDP rek de ñu taxawal ko ñun Gambie yëpp ñu saanil ko karta ñu gis ne December mu win si réew mi fii te dëkk bi dem si kanam foog naa loolu dara la loo xam ne du ñun rek suñ lu ñoo joytu waaye dara la loo xam ne Gambie yëpp ñoo koo joytu buur soo ko ni be mansa tombon na alhakatu ni be mansa tombon na ika mol tombo meya lonko ate CGB la ate mojibe la ata jibe la ko mbota je ko ni isi ñoo mambo hani bi mambo ni bota Serekunda bota hani bi Gambia mambo de bar ni bota Serekunda bota jara bota ñomi bota wota Gambia bi la bota wota al ngambulu kafu ñoma mbeke kilinti comme PDP yake ñameng al findina molu kabirin katon fo koyna al ngambulu kafu Essa ngaje ko ñinan carte fayo a gagner ay banko doku ñala me ya lonko kolbe mbe sewol ala baraka baake in sewota ba Yes. Allah baraka bak. Yes. Yo. Okay. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to thank Mr. Fati enormously for his rousing endorsement of our candidacy and our campaign. Like him, we believe that we have the capacity and the ideas to take this country to the next level, where it should rightfully be. A few days ago, Forbes magazine published a report, at least that's the information I have received, supporting the earlier finding that the Gambia is one of the most corrupt countries in the world. The report stated that the Gambia is the second to last country which is worst to do business. They rated 153 countries, and we took 152nd, only above Chad. What a dismal record that is. What a terrible indictment that is of the business environment in this country. No country would ever develop in such a situation. And these are the reasons why I'm running for president. We have to take the bull by the horns. We have to ensure that there are right people who would take up the challenge and meaningfully put in place policies and actions that will remedy the terrible malaise that we have in this country. The corruption is just one, but it is one that is the result of a lot of bad policies that we have. Principal amongst them is the poor wages that are in this country. If you pay a police officer $1,500 and he has to spend $1,800 to buy a bag of rice and pay $3,000 for rent and pay $8,000 for school fees and related school expenses for his children, there is no way that person would not take bribes. If you pay a government civil servant $4,000 and she has to go to work and leave her child behind, she would need help to take care of that child or the children she may have. And she may have to pay $4,500 for a maid. She is paying more than her salary to take care of her children. What a terrible situation for Gambian women. But that is not just it for Gambian women. The state of maternal health in this country is so frightening that Gambian women get scared these days of getting pregnant. You know, having a child used to be so important for all of us. In fact, in Mandinka, they say, Aye har Jesu. Meaning, she's got lucky. That's how important this was to us. Until now, it has become so frightening for every woman. And also for the husbands too. Because you take your wife to labor, You're not sure she's going to come back home. Last week alone, 6 women died in childbirth. This week, women also died. 6 women died in childbirth. What are we doing about it? We are busy buying pickup trucks for political campaign instead of buying ambulance, instead of buying blood, instead of buying gloves, instead of buying all those things that would save our sisters, our mothers, and our women in childbirth. The healthcare situation is in a very sad state. Even the things, the basic things that would not cost too much money to do, like cleaning the toilets, is non-existent. All of you must have seen this viral video of the toilets in one of the hospitals in Banjul. I don't know whether it's the polyclinic or it's the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. Whichever it is, it's in such a terrible state. How could anyone recover from disease by going to that toilet? It's not possible. It's not going to happen. Don't, please, we would address everything. I can understand the raw emotions that are being expressed. People are angry, and rightly so. I too am angry at what is happening. Because all of us go through this. I have told you about the story of my dad. And I am sure a lot of you have gone through something similar. The situation in this country is terrible. We were in Birkama yesterday. There were hardly any roads to drive on. And I am told that in that part of Birkama, when it rains, the women would have to walk for 4 to 5 kilometers to get access to a market. I mean, what are we talking about? Just a market. A space where people would buy and sell goods. The welfare of the people in this country, especially those at the lower level, is completely neglected. Social services to help our people is basically non-existent. And that is why I'm running for president, because we have to solve this problem. You look at the plight of the youths, that too is in a dismal state. Education is expensive in this country. We have our young persons go through all the hurdles just to get the kind of education this country has to offer. And what do we give them at the end of the day is zero opportunity. It is so bad that many of them would have to take to perilous journeys they call Barcelona or Barsaha. And a lot of them end up in Barsaha, unfortunately, sadly so. May their souls rest in peace. But may their mothers also have the heart to deal with the situation. But may we have the opportunity to wipe their tears. May we have the opportunity to put a smile on their face by putting in place a government that would be answerable to their needs and not a government that is only concerned about how much dahini sipa sipa they make for themselves. And that is why we are all angry. Because bokunchi. Because we are not part of it. As they taunt us, they tell us you're not part of it, so suck up with it. We refuse to suck up with it. We say come December 4, we remove you from power because you are no good to our people. And that is why I'm running for president, because I hate the injustice. I hate the fact that our limited resources are not being put to the issues of priority for the Gambian people. I hate it that our sons and daughters would go to school and the teachers would not even teach them all the things that are relevant because they want to do extra classes in order to earn extra money. I have met women in Kartong and in Gunjur. This whole country has been sold. This whole country has been sold. If we are not careful, what we had in Zimbabwe, what happened in Gambia. There was a portion of land in Kartong, where the in Gunjur, where the Chinese business people, Gunjur, mounted their flag in Gambian soil. Can you imagine the effrontery and the audacity and the disrespect? But if our officials sell their soul to the Chinese, what can we do? The downtrodden people. This is why I applaud Ahmad Manjang and co. for standing up to these people, for saying, no, this is not going to happen. I can understand his raw emotions. He too is angry, just like we are, at the terrible state of things in this country. And yesterday we met a woman in Kartong who is as angry as him, who just explained, tried to take away the little furrow that she had, the furrow she's been farming since she was 11 years old, going to primary school. This whole country is now being dug. We don't know what they are digging for. I bet they don't even know what is being exported from here. And that is why we are proposing that we must have an audit of what the natural resources of this country and under whose control they are and under what contractual arrangements, so that we can take the necessary steps to empower this country by keeping the resources of this country to this country, instead of mortgaging the future of this country for other people. There is so much to be said. There is so much to be said. But today is not a day to go over the litany of woes, the litany of troubles, the litany of malice in this country. Today is a day to welcome Mr. Kitabu Fati in our fold. Some people may say, oh, Kitabu is a comedian. This is a joke, it's a big circus. We say, well, thank you. You have tried to woo him, you just failed. You have done everything to get him because you know he's got a big following in this country. You just failed. So this is sour grapes. You know, when they say, this is not impressive, we tell you, wait till December, you would know. Or wait until you see Mr. Kitabu on the campaign trail. This guy is a natural. You see, we believe in mutual respect. We believe that every single Gambian must and should have a voice. Every single Gambian has a responsibility to contribute. On that note, Mr. Kitabu, welcome. I wish I could spread red carpets for you. And you know what? We'll be mighty honored by any single individual who walks down the aisle to us. Because you know what? That person has 21 other options. To come to us is an honor and a privilege. So we welcome all of you. And be rest assured, by December 4th, this movement of a hope for better Gambia would have continued its march and would corral all well-meaning Gambians into this fold. And together, all these Gambian youth, the young boys and the young girls of this country, and the women and the elderly, we all march shoulder to shoulder, and we would conquer. We would release this country from the clutches of ineptitude and put it in the hands of experienced people. In the hands of experienced people who have nothing, who have no intention other than to push this country to the next level. to ensure that the Gambia would become a better place for all Gambians, to ensure that we create an environment for our children to grow in happiness, to ensure that we put in place an education system that works for Gambia, to ensure that we have a public service that works for the people of this country and not work for themselves, that ensure that we have a government whose primary focus is the welfare of this country and not how they will get re-elected in the next time. There is a lot to say, but we will take questions. And tomorrow, by the grace of God, we would make another major announcement. An announcement of someone very high profile, now being caught by everybody. And we would announce another breakthrough, and the naysayers would come again. In fact, nowadays, they don't have a response to all the issues that we say. Their response is to attack me and attack my faith. Don't listen to them, sir. They call me an Ahmadiyya. That's what they say. I would not ordinarily respond to this, because this is profound and deep. It is an attack on my faith. But let me tell you, in this country, every individual has a right to believe in whatever they want to believe. That is the law of this country. That is what keeps us in peace. That is what ensures that every individual would get what they want. But I am appalled and disappointed by the attack on my faith. I'm a Muslim. There are many branches of Islam. I don't embrace any tariqa. I'm a simple Muslim. I'm not a Murid. I'm not Ahmadi. I'm not Lion. I'm not the many branches that are there. I'm a Muslim. What I believe in is to do my 5 daily prayers and observe the 5 fundamental pillars of Islam. I have nothing against the Murid, as I have nothing against the Ahmadi. I am a peaceful and tolerant person. I tolerate everybody in the exercise of their belief. And that is fundamental and absolutely necessary for the survival of this country, and indeed every country in the world. But they don't have any answers to what we have to offer. Politics is a competition of ideas. It is not a dog fight in the mud. I refuse to be dragged in the mud. I would not call anybody names. I will not insult anybody, for I respect all of them. And I respect their mothers and their fathers, and would never utter a lie or a foul word against them. Let them utter it against me. I forgive them. I forgive them because that is what my religion teaches me. Islam teaches me to be a charitable person and a forgiving person. So I forgive them. So if they attack me in the name of Islam, I forgive them in the name of Islam. But I advise those whose homes are being used as the foundation to launch these infantile attacks against me. I call them infantile because they are childish and foolish, and is based on obvious falsehood. I advise those whose homes are being used as the platform to launch these infantile attacks against me, that you know what? When they sneeze from across, it could reverberate from here with so much ferociousness that it could hurt and conquer anything in its wake. But it's absolutely unnecessary. We don't have to be uncivilized in our quest for power. We can deal with one another with respect and dignity. We can fight for ideas and not cut ourselves. We can argue over issues and not unnecessarily disparage one another. You see, worse is being said to those who are in the leadership of the other side, where these attacks are coming from. We would never echo those childish and false claims. Even if they were true, we would never echo them, because we give them maximum respect. The respect they deserve as elders, the respect they deserve as leaders, the respect that they deserve as Gambians. If they treat me differently, I forgive them. Not because I am weak, not because I cannot respond, not because I cannot defend myself, or not because this team cannot protect or fight for itself. We do so because this is the only known civilized behavior. And that is what we embrace. In this team, we teach respect and tolerance. In this team, we ask for fair treatment of others. In this team, we ask for truth. In this team, we ask for justice. And we would not allow anybody to drag us into the mud. And on that note, I thank you. We'd be happy. We'd be happy to answer whatever questions you may have. su ma ko bëggoon a wax ci olof tey dinañ fi xaw a yàgga tuuti waaye am na solo jànqa ngeen baalal ñu am na solo ñu wax ci tuuti ci olof ndax nit ñi mun a ñëpp mun a xam li ñoo wax suñ amul tontu ci xam-xam gi ñuy teg ci taabul bi dinañ ut luñ la ŋàññee comme man niñ ma dee ŋàññee di dal ci suma diine ne sax kii di jullit ñeena ñi naan kii Ahmadiya la ma wax ko fii tey man toppuma tarixa man jullit rek laa simple jullit julli waxtu wi juróom joxe azaka toppa yeneen ponki islam loolu laa xam te sax gars yi xam nañ ko de fen rek a leen neex parce que xam nañ ne suñ mënut a gañe suñ mënut a jël ndam li ci li nga xam ne moo nekk suñ boppa yi mooy solution bu nit ñi teg pour saafaraal problème yi ci réew mi dinañ ci indi ay fen ak ay tuumalaate di tiital jullit ñi pour buñ ñëw ci ñoon waaye jéggal nañ leen parce que comme que ñun ay jullit lañ man jullit laa nañ leen jéggal ngir jullit laa mun nañ maa saaga lu leen neex duma leen tontu du wut ne mënumaa tontu de ñëpp xam nañ ne mun naa wax te ñëpp xam nañ ne mun naa tontul suma bopp ñëpp xam nañ ne am nañ team boo xam ne am nañ mbootaay boo xam ne mun nañoo tontu te mun nañoo tontul suñ bopp waaye lii yëpp day daf ko fi jarut politique bi mun naa em ci ñu jongante ci xel jongante ci saafaral problème yi réew mi te bañ koo eggal ci kii lii la kii lële la ak ŋàññante gi saagante bi xasante bi man nag foog naa ne yëfi kilifa la pour su nit ñi toogee ci sa kër di saaga ñeneen soo ko yëgee benn yoon defoo ci dara nga yëg ko ñaareeli yoon defoo ci dara soo toogee yëg ko ñetteeli yoon te defoo ci dara mu ngi mel ni ànda nga ci dëgg la am du dëgg ma di yëgal kilifa yi parce que fii képp ak ñi nekk ci politique bi ñëpp ay kilifa lañ ne mun nañoo tontu de te ndax it tuuma yiñ fee wax ñeneen ñi yoo xam ne ñun gëmuñ ko munoon nañ koo gën a dëgëral tam ñu nit de di ko wax fu ne su doon sax mu doon dëgga waxuñ ci dara de te tuumaluñ fi kenn dara te munoon nañ koo tuumal mun nañ leen a tuumal comme nit ñoo tuumalee waaye ñun ñu ne jox nañ leen yar boo xam ne wan nañ leen cër goo xam ne teg nañ leen ci place boo xam ne am nañ gàcce pour toog di leen wax joo xam ne waxi ñàkk a fayda la di leen wax yoo xam ne waxi tuuma la di leen wax yoo xam ne waxi yàqa la duñ yàqa seen der parce que ay kilifa ngeen leen jox nañ leen cër soo kilifa yu fi toog seen nit ñi di xas ñeneen di leen saaga waaye nañ def nañ def yëfi kilifa waaye wane na ñoom kilifa lañ ku leen jox léew bi ñuy def yëfi kilifa waaye suñ toogee di seetaan mu ngi mel ni defuñ yëfi kilifa te ñun kilifa la ñuy ut pour jox ko dénk ko réew mi wax nag neexut wax neexut te utuma pour tooñ kenn dama ut rek pour ñuy wax dëgga di def dëgga di bàyyi xel luwaa di toppa luwaa parce que man loolu rek laa ko ñuy wax dëgga di def dëgga di bàyyi xel luwaa di def li luwaa wax foog naa loolu suñ ko defee réew mi dina dem kanam li ma wax ci tubaab yëpp duma ko mën a wax ci olof fi mu nekk nii parce que waxtu bi dem na te journaliste yi muñal nañ ñu parce que yàgga nañoo toog di xaar balaa ñoo tàmbali ci kaw loolu ma jël this opportunity pour jéggali ci ñoom di leen baalu àqa di leen won ne rek suñ amoon li ñu gënal du demee noonu ngeen jéggal ñu so fi mu nekk dinañ jël questions su dee questions yi dinaa jóg bàyyee kitaabu toogu bi su ko defee moom mu answer questions yi ngeen am pour moom su loolu jeexee su dee am nañ questions pour man yoo xam ne mu ngi aju ci jotaay bi liñ fee waxtaanee man dinaa answer questions yooyu bon nag jërë ngeen jëf.
journaliste olu mbaalo batu nokk
dafa nuroo gaa yëpp dañ d'accord ni altol be sonta dorom no problem
Diamo ban.
kind of questions
yo bisimilla hani bi ɓawo journaliste olu manna folo ngalon ne moɓe d' accord tel même fota jang ndum moɓe fana yalon ne même fota jang bi ni yajen tolɓe Essa Faal koma ina saabu bi ñaton ko nim momoɓe carte fayla i ñanta lon na be carte fay la meye ñim banko la batan tol be ya lonne banko la toron tol be ya lonne bi momo be ñim banko kanjang surtout fondinkelu ni ko carte fayo jang alon ko fondinkel lam bor lalti fondinkel le sila siran don di lalti fondinkel lam ko be ke lati banni o bota je bi ntol me mu 60% ñim banko kanjang mu neka ken tole ñim banko kanjang woto kumol men fota jang ngalo na moyta hakilo lale amma moy jusola ñim banko ñanta tala ñatol de ñim banko a ñanta tala ñatole manya na sila jam moye sasa ñim banko kanjang e ka fo ko al ngambulu ka fu ñoma pour ka samba eta banda eta sasa la eta jara je o masi bolt ndol ngalon tol bi ndol do balu ndol la ka be ñi lobitanol to bi yeta lobitanol rete bor samba na wange prasta molti oto bi ñanta ñaton ko jibe la mais ya lonko abe bala fala mol yenne abe lafila mol la ñato talal abe lafila banko la ñato talal oto wala tin nan tol be isa mbay fal noma al mbebula non bi ndol memu artisol te ñim banko kanjang fo janne tebe duna politiko to ndol ngalon nen tol nga borom borom men ke jang bi artisol la tama jang ka findi jang katela artist ya findi ñim banko kanjang ke ni manda kasa ma sidanda gini bi sawal mo be wolon yes ni manta tama jang kasa mas le o gine bi saw fontol man na gambia la ado ni ciosano findi la banda ba ni aje tourism ye sembo soto bi munamu ngalon ciosano lemu artisol le ka banko wafi anin ku jamalu bi oto bi ndol fangala dulal be jana damen yalon ko bi senna tourism fang wafi bi al albrera jibe wotu mo roots commune festival ka kenu janne bi al James Island jibe ba jio famo be woto takane say teta slave house makati sa le be woto say oto bi tourisol men kana e kana mun tole wala tin nan tol ngaje kon tol PDP Essa Faal membe mbulu wala ba bulu woto memmu ali Gambia be al nga kafu nyoma ngabula noma ngaje ko nyimbanko ay tanya to dro yes amanyen na kela ko ha ndemu si karleti ndemu mo karleti ntebe fasa rolla al ngam boto ke nana ta banku do koto banko fasa ka dun dem banko tara nyaato le korda bita nyaato le nyim banko adiyata bakele nda tara nu Guinea Bissau jande kon tara campagne la jaba ala baraka bari tata je menna Guinea Bissau ni koyo ko ngata sa de kara lon ko 3 hours 4 hours be borle mam futa je bar gambe jam 4 hours yow bari nyim banko kanjang alon ko bi ifuta almost ifuta basel ya banko bang oro ni banko manta mune keta mune problème oti anen ku kilimbe je way banko batandi bake wala mu kafo ko ha ye sadio sire daminda nyanda balula jele wala mu kuleti men yalon ko nyim banko kanja anyanta bolale corruption mu kuleti me yalon ko ayen torale ayen batandile bi momo be nyaato alonko ko ma ke mira mun la ke mira dimbala fulola oto alnga bula mono me alon ka be mira la Gambia la pour Gambia ta nyaato wala kum mayata musolu mbe musolu tentula bake mbe jayila katu musol le molti men yalon ko bi nim politicien wulta jama bi je to le ka bule no ma bake oto musolu aliaje le membe nyim banko kanjam nundo comme Essa Faal ya fo nyameng honorable ni ajibe nunto muso moy kono ma abuka ke jam problème ti baki te tanto la Johnson to Abusi Johnson muso jama jelone muso kono ma jama jelone kudu imagine ko scanning men ka keje molu karanje kabinu subale molu karanje scanning masim fo baka soto no lopitano do ma si bolti nyim banko nyanta tala nyatole wala tin tol ngaaje kon tol PDP ngaaje ko Essa Faal atela moti me a lonko a londo sotole a makamo soto ay banku kano sotole a mam mojibe nay mojibe no nintol fotata manon te nunum bi aba fankela nyaado be nyamal bari bi ay na kuota atemaje ko a nyimu comedian no tudron e comedian no mundi nyaaw nya nyim banko kanyanke handi no sanji saba fa kitabu dro yello no ni o fo jam fane ba fo ko dinno ko carte fay ba dinni wala ka ko mo futandi ya ni a futandi ya ba ni fañol ba moy lal no ni ya moy fanan ko ba carte fay no la mbe molu tentu lambe jayila comme nga fo nyamen journaliste min be jang mbal tentu la bake mbal jayila mbal haka dani la fanan ko a be mu ku kilingol te doron ka ku dati tumo menna mbal dan la mbal haka dan la mba fula mobe fananga baraka to nyaabe wala nyama to nya na fota damen to nyinin karbu gasiaje wala na nyinin karbu manke jang to nya na fota damen nyinin karbu gasiaje bak oto mbal tentula mbal jayila nse wota bakele ndum mba fula le ko nyimu kulete mi yalon ka dadital December mun na tageto December 4 ndu inshallah mbe Essa Faal koma mba pus la nga pus ngaje kon tol fonding kelu men be nyim banko kanjang na toro ni nabata ngalonne bi ikakara njanne ku dan tay ka wala soto ni mangi tijati ebe kala no fengol di sorda sol ni mangi be kala no so no si karawo jam fon asoto mandiya bi bankol men bebe jang ibe bank do ko men sol la jang alon ko nim bankol be bota jang alon ko Gambia bank mementi jang aman sabasi onani woto bi al nga kafu ngaje ko nyim banko ya fansum bankol soto nga marse soto me alon ko na janita ni dimba bota je am balancel se dunno je nga do ko ke nyim banko kanyan silol ye do ku nyala me alon ko nim mo sasa de sa bondi no dulato akana ke toroti woto jumale bo keno la wala moti me londo soto ay Gambia kanu alafta Gambia la nyarota wala Essa Faal de mbal tentula mbal jayila ala baraka bake mbal tentula bake yes
Ni a